It looks as if we're walking the corridor of death. There's like nothing. And behind, there's nothing.
There's nothing but hallway.
There is nothing but hallway. By the way, hello everyone and welcome to... What day is it, Mal? Do you know?
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yep.
Tuesday. Okay, welcome to Tuesday. We're currently going to the rail to head down to, what's the name of the shrine? Inari?
Inari.
Inari.
Fushimi Inari Taisha.
It's probably the most notable thing in Kyoto. It's what people think of when they think of Kyoto. It's got the beautiful orange gates, and not only is it something pretty to look at, but it's also a bit of a hike. 4 kilometers up, 4 kilometers back, and we got up really early. It's just barely past 6:30 a.m. because apparently the crowds really start hitting around 9. So we'd like to make our way up without there being a ton of people. Lindsay's meeting us. We should see her soon. So we've come a pretty long way. The view behind me is astounding. We're still a little bit from the top. I think like 20 minutes.
A lot of it.
Are you guys okay?
It's too far.
It's too far?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a quick change in altitude and there's stairs. Yeah. Lindsay gets altitude sick.
What if I went the rest of the way?
Can you do it?
Yeah.
You'll be okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, we're probably gonna head down and get a snack.
Okay.
Take pictures.
I will. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna carry the torch. The torch is
Being the
literally
vlog camera.
Yeah, the torch is literally the vlog camera. I want to see what the top is like.
Okay, have fun.
Okay. I think I've walked past the point that most people stop, and there's no one around yet, and it's just eerily quiet. It's kind of nice, but there's more to go. So along the way, while you're climbing, there's a lot of vending machines, there's little shops, a few tiny restaurants, which help, but also there's still a lot more to climb. I really hope this is the top. I'm pretty sure it's the top. But I really hope it's the top. An incredible experience. It really was. It was a little further than I was thinking, and a little more difficult, but I'd say it was worth it. And now I gotta go back down. One of the cool things is that actually you go up one way and come down another, so it's like a giant loop, and that's nice because then you don't have to see the exact same things on the way down. And I guess presumably you could have come up this other way too, but I just kept following signs that said summit. On the way back down, I noticed that there was a part where the path split, and there's a direction I haven't went, and it says to the main shrine. I think it ultimately loops back around to where I started, but this is a completely different path, so there's even more to see. The only thing that's a little concerning is that the sign said 15 minutes, so it might be another 15-minute walk. Lindsay and Mal might be waiting just a little bit. Oh man, this stuff is starting to look familiar. I think I'm back at the bottom. I just gotta figure out where Mal and Lindsay are. This is one of the times where having Find My Friends on is a really good thing because I can just figure out where Mal is. And I think she's this way. It's also really interesting, when we first got here, it was early enough that these shops and vendors weren't actually open, and they were just kind of setting up with their tables, and now, you know, there's so many here. And like the downside of coming later is that there's more people, but all the restaurants and the shops and the vendors and stuff are open, so it probably makes climbing to the top easier, because, you know, you can stop and rest and get a little tiny bite to eat on the way, as opposed to doing it all in one run, which is how I chose to do it. GPS says that she's in that gift shop. I've never really had to use Find My Friends. It's actually kind of cool how accurate it is. I'm assuming she's actually in there somewhere. Oh wait, I think I see her. Hi. How are you?
Good, you met us down here.
I did. I used the Find My Friends and it showed me where you were.
I did that like 20 minutes ago and you were on top of a mountain, so.
It's true. I made it all the way to the very top.
How was it?
If you were looking like strictly for like a view,
Yeah.
it wasn't there.
Okay.
Like the view part was like where we stopped originally, which is about halfway up.
That was the view?
That was the view.
Okay.
Everything past that point, there is no view. It's just for kind of the sake of doing it.
Okay.
But it was a cool experience.
Yeah.
It was neat.
There was a cute little shop that was selling like handmade stuff on the way down.
Yeah.
But it was closed and we were not happy about it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lindsay, what'd you get? It's a butthole.
I don't understand.
Trust me. It's a butthole.
Oh. You weren't kidding.
So we bought these boxes and they have fortune inside, and you open it and then you tie the bad ones here and leave
Hope
it
that
here.
it doesn't follow you.
Yes. Your fortune. Your luck will be good, but there will be problems with other people and you may face an unexpected woe. If you deal with problems one by one, the damage will not be great, and there will be good results without feeling pressure.
All your hard work up until now will be rewarded, and you will be recognized. Respond to what is demanded of you without being troubled. You will have some unexpected good luck, but recognize that this is not due to any merit on your part.
That's astoundingly good. I've never had that before.
Me neither.
Steamed pork bun.
Manju.
Manju?
I only know it in Chinese because of that little Pixar short.
I mean, I've seen these in like games and things like that. Japanese stuff. I've never actually had one. It's really good.
So, this is Mochi Strawberry, and there's red bean paste inside. And it's a typical spring dessert. And I wanted one last night, but the shop attendant wasn't there.
Both Lindsay and I were craving gyoza, so we came to a gyoza place, and they have all sorts of other stuff here too, which is really nice. So I got ramen, and Lindsay, you got yakisoba.
My yakisoba.
Yakisoba. What'd you
Fried rice.
You got tempura shrimp. I almost said fried shrimp. It's technically the same thing, but lighter.
Jeff, Dan, and I are doing some Tokyo exploration today. Our first stop is Shinagawa Shrines, just a few steps from the house. Right now we're on top of the Fujizuka here at Shinagawa Shrine. It's a scale model of Mount Fuji for people who can't climb the real thing, like we don't have time to, and it's the wrong season. But it's a pretty cool view. There's, you can even see the place we're staying from over here.
So conveniently located right next to the gyoza restaurant we were eating was Gion. I believe it's pronounced Gion.
Gion.
Gion. I think it's Gion, which is another shrine. Anyway, one of the things that Mal wants to see here is a weeping cherry tree, cherry blossom tree. So that's what we're gonna do. But there's a bunch of vendors here, like for food and things. One of the things here is a haunted house with all the yokai. So you can see behind me, it's a big old haunted house. It's really cool. Oh, Mao had some of those the other day.
So beautiful.
Don't break your teeth. I about did, and it's gonna shatter.
Yeah, it's like a candy apple, but with strawberries. So we're just gonna walk through here, and probably won't be here terribly long. We're ultimately trying to get up to where the weeping cherry blossom tree is. What do you think?
It's pretty. It's a little past bloom, I think. Just a little bit. The ones that are where all the seating is a bit more, but they're not weeping ones.
So at this point, we've left the shrine area. And now, what's the name of the place we're ultimately trying to get that you wanted to see?
Kiyomizu-dera.
And that is...
It's another temple.
It's another temple, but it has some unique qualities. And we're taking some back streets through some neighborhoods Mal wanted to see to get there. It's more interesting than just taking the railway. We made it! It was a bit of a walk, but we're here. Lindsay actually had to peace out. I think she got sick on the yakisoba noodles. I'm not sure those were good noodles, so she's actually going to take a taxi back to her hotel. Mao and I are going to explore this place. It is beautiful, but it is crowded. We woke up really early and avoided lots of crowds, but now it's a little bit later. And
this place is crowded today.
yeah, there's a lot of people here. We're currently standing out on what is called the stage.
This is the stage.
This is the stage, and
They're
it's
saying, okay, so first off, there was a guy, I don't remember his name offhand, but he was told in a dream to go find water this direction, and he headed this direction and he found that water, which is what people are like purifying their hands with down there.
okay.
And they built like this temple to kind of signify that, like the historical event of it. And this is the stage, and there's like two sayings that go with it, and it's like to step onto the stage at Kiyomizu-dera, and it's like to step into the limelight. And then there's also one about jumping, and like it's just like go for it, jump.
What I was going to say was a little less philosophical. It was the fact that the stage is actually sloped.
It is. It's
And
sloped
it's
downwards.
it's concerning because the platform that we're standing on is not completely flat. It's actually sloped towards the edge,
And this is ancient
and this is
and
ancient.
hand built
And it's
under
just
construction.
yeah, it's actively under construction, so it's just it's a tiny bit concerning. Mal has just informed me that one of the main reasons that she really wanted to come here and go out on the stage was because there was a recent Detective Conan episode.
Pretty recent. It was like half a year ago.
That's still pretty recent when the show's been going on for like
Forever.
1,000 years. But there was a Detective Conan episode where
It was the main storyline one for once.
he was on that stage.
Yeah, there was a whole thing about it.
So Mal was like, I want to do what Detective Conan did.
That's not.
So that's what we did. That wasn't the reason, but it was contributing. But I just found out about that. So what's the construction for?
They're just restoration. The thing is old.
So is there a second stage, or is it just tall?
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, that thing is it is beautiful. It's very, very big. This entire place is big. I mean, there's just so much to see. But I think we probably should start making our way down. So we're walking back to the hotel from the temple, and as we're walking, Mal stops me and says, "Oh, it's the guy." And I was like, "What does that mean?" And we're just walking through a neighborhood, and there is a printmaker.
Yeah, he's a woodblock printer.
A woodblock printmaker.
Very traditional.
Super traditional.
You don't really see that anymore.
Who is doing work out of his house. Has a little sign up that says, you know,
When I feel
open when I feel like it, basically. Mal went in, and the guy was in there, just an old guy sitting on the floor doing his work, and he was very friendly.
He spoke enough English to explain the process of printmaking.
Yeah, and we used,
Which, I mean, it helps because I did it, so
yeah,
I know it.
and we used Google Translate to talk a little bit, but Mal got some of his prints.
There was some bigger ones I really loved, but I was worried about getting them back to the U.S. in our luggage.
There was a really big cat one.
Oh, it looked like Kepi.
Mal wanted it so bad, and I was like, I have no idea how we would get that back in one piece. Is the problem? These are a little more manageable.
Yeah.
But
They're beautiful.
You had read about him like online?
I had seen an article or something about him somewhere. It was someone's post about it, and they were like, if you walk by and it's open, it's worth it to stop in. And we walked by and it was open. And I had put it on my map, on Google Maps, and I was off by about 2 blocks. So we were walking back, and I'm like, well, let's take this other route around the block because I know it's in that area. And we walked past it, and he was open.
It was cool. It was really cool, and the guy in there was really friendly. So I don't know what you would search for to find this. I don't even know what street we're on.
Well, I put a review in English.
You put a review?
I put a review about it, but we're here in Higashiyama, which is the part of Kyoto we're in.
Okay.
And if you just look up like museum, I don't know. It's near where we stayed. Yasaka Dori.
We've been staying at M's Inn, and it's not far from here.
It's literally just
it's like
around
a
the corner.
A block or two.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're ever here.
And you want to pick up some homemade woodblock
art
prints. They're beautiful.
That sort of style of art is not easy to make too, which is why it's so impressive. But that was cool.
Yeah.
It was a good little way to end this experience. It's still early in the day. I'm literally on my last battery, which is super unusual. This is the first day of the entire trip that I've went through all of the batteries. But we're gonna go back to the hotel and kind of chill for a bit, and then maybe figure out what we want to do from there. We got back to the hotel, and we sat there for a few minutes, and Mao basically lamented the fact that she did not get the bigger cat print. And I was like, well, there's a problem. I was like, we don't have enough cash on hand to get that. I was like, is it okay that you just have the smaller prints? And she goes, yeah, it's fine. And I'm just staring at her, and I'm like, let's go. So then we went and we had to go withdraw. I mean, we needed to withdraw more cash anyway, but like
a quarter mile to
we had to walk a quarter mile very quickly.
Or the IKEA, the 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
And
Withdraw the
then
cash and then come all the way back and hope that he'd still be open, and he was. And we got the full print, which is of the cat that Mao wanted. That's the one she wanted. Now you have it.
Now I have it.
And now
I have to figure out a way
you have to
get it
figure out
home.
how on earth you're going to get it home, because getting it all the way home is going to be very difficult. We're going to have to I mean, the best solution would be
mail it.
Mail it or plexiglass it together or something to keep it safe in the luggage.
Yeah.
Getting that all the way home is going to be difficult. I mean,
That's my problem.
That's your problem. But it's also my problem because we got to both figure it out before we leave Kyoto. Anyway, I'm glad you got it. And as a bonus, he gave us a big form, Ichimura Mamoru woodblock printer. This is really cool. I open when I wake up and close when I must go to sleep. When I've had enough, the store is closed.
Old Japanese culture, old Kyoto house, and old Kyoto man. Everything is old. When you come again, the store will be still older.
So, yeah, this is a nice little keepsake to go with this, Mal.
Yeah.
Okay. Part 1 is done. You have the piece. You don't have to lament in the hotel room that you missed out and you'll never get this. But now the trouble is going to be actually getting it home, but we'll figure it out. Just wanted to give a quick update that Mao found an art supply store.
That one.
Wasendo, I think.
Yeah.
I'm saying that. Wasendo. The people in there were super helpful. It's always a little interesting with the language barrier, but Google Translate is the best app.
I don't know how good it is because there was one thing I typed in and she was like, I was like, going.
Well, I mean, the thing is, when it comes right down to it, you're really just trying to get a few keywords so people understand, oh, okay, that's what you're trying to do. So we
walked in and they had these right there, the cardboard tubes.
Yeah.
So that was easy enough to do. And then we couldn't find paper, and so we asked about paper, and then she took us upstairs where there's a million papers because Japan does paper right.
I've never seen so much paper in my entire life.
I had told her, I was trying to protect art, and she pulled out a couple, and I went with one of them, which I think is blotter paper. I think that's what it is. So we bought some of it, and it was 15 cents for this huge sheet.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what Arches up there would be if there was Arches drawing paper. I bet it would be cheap.
Yeah. So yeah, that actually worked out really well. And I was telling Mao, of all of the people to buy something like this in Japan, it being Mao and knowing just innate what to buy and what to get.
Can feel it.
Yeah, but if someone's just buying art, they don't know what to do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, you as an artist, and because you've shipped this stuff, and that's helpful.
It should be okay. I'm still nervous, but this is the best we can probably do besides buying plexiglass and sandwiching it.
Yeah, Mal said that instead of putting it in her suitcase, she's just going to carry that back home in that cardboard tube, and that's fine.
That'll fit in my backpack.
And it'll fit in your backpack, so cool. That crisis is averted. You got the art that you wanted.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting day, man. It's been an interesting day indeed. Even though I had ramen for lunch, Mal didn't, and she wanted ramen for dinner, so she found a place that was not too far away. And this might be the best ramen I've ever had. It's the broth. I don't know what they've done to the broth, but it's astounding. The broth is actually kind of thick, and it's so flavorful. I mean, otherwise, it would be pretty. I mean, run of the mill ramen, but still extremely good because it's so authentic. But the broth makes everything delicious. We got basically the same thing. Yours is a little different, but otherwise the same thing. It's really good. So it's a little bit later, and we just finished doing breakfast stream. Actually, it's a dumb thing, and it probably means a lot more to me than everyone else. But I really love that we've managed to keep doing breakfast stream on time. Like, we are still doing it right at 9 a.m. Eastern, and that makes me really happy. And I think that's going to make me very, very happy soon too. We picked up a cinnamon. Also, that thing was like maybe 140 yen. It's like $1.40. Less than, because the exchange rate's really good. It's like $1 or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. We picked it up as a little snack. But we just did breakfast stream. And it went well. We got to talk about some of our adventures recently in Japan. And I didn't bring pajamas, but the hotel provides these pajamas. Not my usual style, but that's alright. I've worn some clothes I wouldn't have normally worn on this trip, so I guess it all works out. Anyway, right before the stream, Mal got the wood print all safely packaged up, so we're good there. We should be able to get that home without any problems. And yeah, tomorrow we leave Kyoto. It's been fun. I've really enjoyed my time here.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to return to Tokyo, and we got a full day planned of stuff tomorrow in Tokyo too. So it's gonna be fun.
Anyway, that's going to be it today. Thank you so much for watching, and let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?
That's my line. Oh Lord.